Hello, welcome to the Monday Business News Report. Now we'll start with our feature on the show today. We're going to focus on the back and forth that followed the 212 naira per litre price peg for petrol. Reaction to still trailing the development. Now the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation still insists that petrol depot price will remain unchanged this month. Last week, Nigerians woke up to the news of an increment in the retail price of petrol from 165 naira to 212 naira 61 kobo per litre. In the wake of the outrage, they also greeted the increase in the price of petrol. The Petroleum Products Price and Regulatory Agency hours later made a U-turn, deleting an earlier published template on its website announcing the new price of petrol has reached 212 naira 61 kobo per litre. According to the now deleted template, which the PPPRA released, petrol is expected to sell at a lower retail price of about 209 naira 61 kobo and also at an upper retail price of 212 naira 61 kobo. Nigerian marketers usually use the upper band for pump price. Well, joining me now live in our Lagos studio, I have with me energy analyst Jason Okwade to discuss the development and the intricacy of the matter on ground for now. Good to have you on the breakfast show today.
Good morning, David.
You were sort of a prophet of doom, let's just say, while we were playing pundit for the next price of petrol. Now, with the back and forth we've seen, what do you make of the lines of communication, the pricing template, and concerns around subsidy?
Yeah, let me create the impression that we are not prophet of doom, but we have just taken our time to study the trend of things based on what we have. And, you know, we're here, I think, January, and we're like the deregulation of a thing. What are the major factors that plays into this thing? Forex and the cost of crude oil. These are two basic factors. And I think the last time I was there, crude oil was about $45 per barrel.
Thereabout.
And as we speak, it's about 73, 74 per barrel, dollar per barrel. And the Forex is close to 500. So if these are two key factors that plays role, what the PPPRA is telling us of buying the cost of petroleum for 212.69 kobo is just the valid point, because we have cried out to the federal government that what we need to do is to domesticate things. How do we need to do this? Let's start refining our product in this country ourselves. The fact remains that because we are importing, we are putting too much pressure on our foreign exchange. Everything about the country relies on foreign exchange, that if care is not taken, we have said it, our projection initially was this 200 will be around June, but it's coming out in March. Possibly by the time we'll be getting to June, because the cost of crude oil will keep increasing. What OPEC is doing is to make sure they have pegged every OPEC country to about 1.4 million barrels to supply into the space. And the price will keep going up. And for every serious-minded country, that is a plus. But because we have refused to do the needful of domesticating some of these things, one of the things that this government promised us is to build refinery within the next 4 years. Up till now, we've not seen one. The one that we call moribund, we've not seen it work. And we are just exporting our crude oil, giving work to other countries for their citizens, and our people are being impoverished. We have not come here to say any analysis to speak grammar. Government, you get back to work. Get our refinery functioning. I'm not part of the people that will say we are waiting for Dangote. Dangote is a businessman. He's out to do business. But the government is out there to provide good welfare for its people. And part of it is to make sure that we have some of this commodity available for the people. Create the enabling environment if you feel it's something you cannot do. And we have said it, even the so-called moribund refinery, if it's handed over to individual people in this country, definitely it will work. We need to domesticate things.
If I'm a button now, yes, we need to domesticate things, and we are having the management of the refineries that are not producing at the optimal level at way too expensive a price now at this point in time. What do you make of the lines of communication? First and foremost, as at the beginning of last year, we had the price modulation mechanism that we had the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources announce. Now there are concerns that even though we say there's no fuel subsidy, some way, somehow, in trying to minimize the outrage, we'll have to see government try to curtail the price movement of petrol. But going by the back and forth we've seen, at the end of the day. Government saying they weren't aware of the price being put out there. The PPPRA said it was just a guiding price template. What do you make of such communication?
The communication gap between the ministry, the PPRA, the NNPC is very wild. If the minister came out to tell us, we all know that every month we get the price that the product will definitely sell. You remember we moved from 87 to 130 something to 162.
145.
145, 162. These are announcements that we get from PPRA. And for them to come out, though the PPRA are used to the templates, and it's just to say this is what it should be in the month. But because there is a communication gap, they feel that they have the instruction to put that on the public domain without carrying the ministry along. So that's why they did that. But the reality is that the 212 is the current, because the cost of crude oil has gone up and the forex exchange has gone up. So it's the reality. And this government has informed us that there is no subsidy. But if you go to the pages of paper this morning, we have been told that we're going to have about 102 billion to cushion the effect. Because if the landing cost is about 209 and you are still selling at 162, where do you make up the difference? Sense. And we have challenged them. All this differential that we are talking about, can we use it? If Niger could set up a refinery and we are proposing to buy from them, we have the resources, the personnel to work, we have the environment that is conducive, we have the raw material, everything working. But the only thing which I am challenging the government on this morning is we lack the political will. Our leaders is not putting into consideration the welfare of the people that they claim that they should do.
How do you react to the situation also that we saw within certain axes towards the Egbedai-Kotu axis? There were some NNPC fuel stations that were closed.
Yeah.
Other marketers were selling at 170, 212, and the price band was within that range. So it was just a free space that sharp practices, so to say, played out. Do you think the NNPC in that move was trying to manage the situation, or it was just a total unacceptable
As
move?
we speak, there is nothing to manage. It's a complete collapse of the system. Because if what you are bringing in and what you're telling us to say that we are in complete deregulation, what we should be expecting now is that to buy at the prevailing price rate, which is about 212. And that's what most people did. And the government should be aware of this. Immediately that thing was announced, whether by error, by PPRA, price of commodity has actually gone up. The price of tomato and some other things, you know, average Nigerians just want to hear that. What we want to tell the government to do is, high time they fulfill their promises of even between now and next year, look for a way to set up refinery in such a way that we can refine this product locally, so that we can leave foreign exchange for other things and not just buying alone. The differential that they are going to save in terms of subsidy, as far as you are concerned, subsidy is back if you are buying at 162, because the cost of crude oil has gone up and everything has gone up. So the current price is that. So we don't want subsidy, because the one we had initially, we all recorded that it was a scam. So we want a situation where those money that will be used as savings should be used to put our refinery, whether to set up a new one. They know this problem before they came in. They gave us the promise, and we want them to do it. Domesticate the issue so that we can move forward.
Thank you very much for your contribution on the show today. All we just want to see is that we have working refineries and the price of petrol also comes down. We are producers, hence we shouldn't be facing the situations we have on ground. But now, one of the biggest task ahead of the DPR is to see that they also play their oversight function in checking all of the depots and then retail centers, filling stations, to ensure that there are no sharp practices.
Well, we hope they will do that.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time once again.
It's a pleasure.